What seeds of discord were sown in the dawn of humanity? How did the bond between brothers turn to a bitter enmity that echoed through the ages? Join us as we delve into the ancient tale of Cain and Abel, where faith clashes with jealousy and love meets betrayal. What drove Cain to commit the first murder, staining the earth with his brother's blood? What divine justice awaited him? Journey with us into this timeless story, where choices cast long shadows and the cry of blood reaches the heavens.
In the beginning, when the world was new and the breath of life still fresh upon the earth, there were two brothers, Cain and Abel, whose tale would echo through the annals of time. Their story, told in the sacred scriptures of the Holy Bible, speaks of love and jealousy, of faith and wrath, and of the first murder that stained the soil of a nascent world. From the loins of Adam and Eve, the first of humankind, sprang forth these brothers, Cain, the elder, a tiller of the ground, and Abel the younger, a keeper of sheep. In the simplicity of their days, they toiled and lived, each finding his path in the rhythm of nature's song. Yet, it was in the act of devotion that their fates diverged. For in those days the offering was the language of the soul, a means to commune with the divine. And so it came to pass that Cain brought forth the fruits of his labor, an offering of the earth's bounty. But Abel, with a heart pure and untroubled, brought the firstlings of his flock, their fat portions a fragrant gift to the Lord. Genesis 4:2-4. And Abel was a keeper of sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground. And in process of time it came to pass that Cain brought of the fruit of the ground an offering unto the Lord. And Abel, he also brought of the firstlings of his flock, and of the fat thereof. And the Lord had respect unto Abel and to his offering. And the Lord, in his wisdom and grace, looked with favor upon Abel and his offering, for it was given with a spirit of humility and faith. But upon Cain and his gift he cast not his gaze. Cain's heart darkened, a tempest of envy and anger brewing within. Genesis 4:5. But unto Cain and to his offering he had not respect, and Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell. Why are you angry? Spoke the Lord to Cain. And why has your countenance fallen? If you do well, will you not be accepted? And if you do not do well, sin is crouching at the door. Its desire is contrary to you, but you must rule over it. Genesis 4:6-7. And the Lord said unto Cain, Why art thou wroth? And why is thy countenance fallen? If thou doest well, shalt thou not be accepted? And if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door. And unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him. But Cain, consumed by his bitter jealousy, heeded not the Lord's counsel. Instead, he let the shadows of his heart guide his hand. In the fields where they labored, he spoke to Abel, his voice a whisper of deceit. Let us go out to the field, he said, and Abel, in his innocence, followed. Genesis 4:8. And Cain talked with Abel his brother, and it came to pass when they were in the field that Cain rose up against Abel his brother, and slew him. In that lonely field, far from the eyes of the world, Cain's envy unfurled into a deadly strike. With a heart blinded by wrath, he rose against his brother and slew him, the earth drinking deep the blood of the first martyr. The ground, once fertile and alive, now bore the weight of Cain's sin, a stain that would never fade. The Lord's voice then thundered through the heavens, seeking the fallen shepherd. Where is Abel, your brother? And Cain, his soul now shackled by guilt and fear, uttered the words that would resound through eternity. I do not know. Am I my brother's keeper? Genesis 4:9. And the Lord said unto Cain, Where is Abel thy brother? And he said, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper? But the Lord, omniscient and just, knew the truth that lay heavy upon the land. What have you done? The voice of your brother's blood cries out to me from the ground. And now you are cursed from the earth, which has opened its mouth to receive your brother's blood from your hand. Genesis 4:10-11. And he said, What hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood crieth unto me from the ground. And now art thou cursed from the earth, which hath opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand. From that day forth, Cain became a wanderer upon the earth, marked and cast away, bearing the weight of his deed. The mark of Cain, a symbol of both punishment and mercy, ensured that no one would take his life in vengeance, for the Lord decreed it so. Genesis 4:12-15. When thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond shalt thou be in the earth. And Cain said unto the Lord, My punishment is greater than I can bear. Behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from thy face shall I be hidden. And I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth. And it shall come to pass, that every one that findeth me shall slay me. And the Lord said unto him, Therefore whosoever slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. And the Lord set a mark upon Cain, lest any finding him should kill him. Thus, the story of Cain and Abel unfolds, a tale of human frailty and divine justice, of choices that shape destinies and the eternal struggle between good and evil. It is a reminder, etched in sacred text, of the power of jealousy and the profound impact of our actions. Therefore, the story of Cain and Abel, although ancient, has themes that are very relevant to current human conflicts. Here are some ways it relates. Envy and jealousy. Cain's envy towards Abel is a feeling that still prevails in today's society. Jealousy can arise in various situations, such as between siblings, friends, work colleagues, and even between countries. This feeling can lead to conflicts if not handled properly. Violence and aggression. The story shows how envy and jealousy can lead to violence, as Cain did when he murdered his brother. Today, we see how anger and frustration can trigger acts of violence, both on a personal and global level. Responsibility towards others. When God asks Cain about Abel's whereabouts, Cain responds, Am I my brother's keeper? This attitude of indifference towards others is a problem in our current society, where we sometimes ignore the needs and sufferings of others. Consequences of our actions. Cain was punished for his actions, reminding us that our actions have consequences. In today's world, this applies to many aspects, from individual responsibility to country policies. Forgiveness and mercy. Despite Cain's sin, God put a mark on him to protect him from being killed. This speaks to us about the importance of forgiveness and mercy, concepts that remain fundamental in conflict resolution today. The story of Cain and Abel, one of the oldest narratives in the Holy Bible, presents a profound in-part historical account. It reflects human nature, morality, and divine justice. We begin with two brothers born to Adam and Eve: Cain, the elder, a tiller of the ground, and Abel, the younger, a keeper of sheep. Their vocations symbolize their inherent differences, one connected to the earth and toil, the other to living beings and nurture. In the simplicity of their days, they each offer sacrifices to the Lord. Cain brings the fruits of his labor, while Abel offers the firstlings of his flock. Here we encounter our first point of reflection: the nature of their offerings. Abel's offering is described as the best of his flock, given with a pure heart and deep faith. Cain's offering, however, is not described with the same reverence. The text implies that Cain's heart might not have been in the right place, that his offering was, perhaps, given out of obligation rather than genuine devotion. The Lord's favor upon Abel's offering and not Cain's ignites the spark of envy and anger in Cain's heart. This moment is pivotal. It showcases the human response to perceived rejection and favoritism. When Cain's countenance falls, the Lord speaks to him, offering wisdom and warning. If you do well, will you not be accepted? And if you do not do well, sin is crouching at the door. Its desire is contrary to you, but you must rule over it. This divine counsel is significant. It highlights the choice Cain faces: to master his emotions and act righteously, or to succumb to sin. Tragically, Cain chooses the latter. His jealousy festers, leading him to deceit and ultimately murder. "Let us go out to the field," he tells Abel, luring him to a secluded place where he rises against his brother and kills him. This act, the first murder, marks the ground with Abel's blood, symbolizing the profound impact of sin and the loss of innocence. The Lord's confrontation with Cain is a powerful dialogue. "Where is Abel, your brother?" God asks, not out of ignorance, but to give Cain a chance to confess. Cain's infamous reply, "I do not know. Am I my brother's keeper?" reflects defiance and denial of responsibility. This rhetorical question has echoed through centuries, challenging us to consider our own responsibilities toward others. God's response to Cain reveals a balance of justice and mercy. "What have you done? The voice of your brother's blood is crying to me from the ground." The imagery here is potent. Abel's blood, symbolizing life unjustly taken, cries out for justice. Cain is cursed from the earth and condemned to wander, but he is also marked for protection, ensuring that vengeance will not be taken upon him. This mark represents both his punishment and the Lord's mercy, a complex interplay of divine principles. Cain's fate as a wanderer symbolizes the consequences of his actions, a life marked by isolation and alienation from the community and the earth he once tilled. Yet it also speaks to the nature of divine justice, severe yet tempered with mercy, allowing for the possibility of repentance and reflection. In this narrative, we find timeless themes: the destructive power of envy, the importance of genuine faith, the struggle between good and evil within the human heart, and the complexities of divine justice. The story of Cain and Abel is more than an ancient tale. It's a mirror reflecting the choices and consequences that shape human existence. As we ponder this story, we are invited to consider our own lives. Are we like Cain, allowing negative emotions to dictate our actions, or can we learn from his fall and strive to master our darker impulses? Do we recognize our role as our brother's keeper, understanding that our actions impact those around us? The tale of Cain and Abel challenges us to reflect on our moral choices and their far-reaching consequences, urging us to walk a path of righteousness and compassion.
As we ponder this ancient tale, let us remember the lessons it imparts, that we are indeed our brother's keeper, and that the seeds of our actions, whether of love or hatred, will grow and bear fruit in the gardens of our lives. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the pages of sacred history. Do not forget to like, share, and subscribe for more inspiring and spiritual content. May the wisdom of the past illuminate our paths and guide us to walk in harmony and grace. Until next time, let us cherish the stories that shape our souls. Be strong, and may the peace of God always be with you.